With card evolutions making a huge splash in Clash Royale, I, being a CRL caster, wanted to know how they're going to affect duel mode. So what better way than to have a tournament? I invited 4 of the best pros in Clash Royale to compete, using or not using evolutions how they see fit. This is the semifinals. Here we go, duel mode, Evos, Mohamed Light, Ryley, let's go. Ryley's been good in the last couple of months. Ryley has a real shot of making it to World Finals with at least 1 or 2 more good performances, and honestly, he seems like he's just one little thing away from maybe making a monthly final, and if he gets that, he could get those points to get into the top 10 and get into that top 7 for a World Finals berth on points. Mohamed Light, of course, will be at World Finals, no questions asked, since he already has a golden ticket and won 4 monthly finals. Can he do 7? We'll find out, but not today. So might be Royal Giant for Ryley here. And an Evo RG will be very interesting. Inferno Dragon, going to be key here. I think we're going to see a lot more tank killers mixed into decks consistently because of the danger of facing Evo RG. And it's lava for Mohamed Light, so maybe he has barbs in this deck, which will be very interesting. And nice little kite away from Ryley to get that Inferno out of commission. And the Zappies all go to the Lava Hound. They don't split the way that I think Ryley wanted them to. Still going to be okay here. A little early on the arrows, but not going to take too much damage for it. Lead Ryley with the first 90 seconds away. So expecting Lava Miner barbs from Mohamed Light. We'll see how impactful those Evo barbs are. They will be nice, potentially, against... I haven't seen the interaction of Evo barbs versus Evo RG. That knockback is critical, but the Evo barbs hit harder, hit faster. Very curious to see how, if and how, these Evos make it in. You got to get the cycles in, too. Arrows doing some good cleanup work, and that's a healthy flying machine on that right-hand tower. Lead for Mohamed Light, who lavas right back up, and an oops out of Ryley. Not what he wanted there. He's got to find some way. He might have to... And there goes the Evo RG with the... And that's nice for Ryley, the Skelly King in front of the Royal Giant. Barbs go for the surround, but they did not get pushed away in any meaningful way, and Ryley calling good game here, as that was absolute decimation. The knockback not doing much at all, and now Ryley has burned the Evo RG against were those Evo barbs? I did not check to see if they had the Evo sign on them, but they have the funny face, at least. Here we go. Game number 2. Arrows out on both directions, which means that the spells being played in either way are better for the Firecracker, who does not die to arrows when she's Evo'd. So we'll see if anyone is running Evo Firecracker here. And if that ends up being a factor with the spells. Drill for Ryley, minor wall breakers for Mohamed Light. It's possible there are no Evos in this deck for Mo. He might just be playing minor wall breakers, although there we go. It's the Firecracker, so makes the good call. Hey, it's interesting. Arrows, though, great against Firecracker. Ineffective against the Evolved Firecracker. And nice King Tower activation there from Ryley. Very well played against the double bait. Could be a significant factor, but if you've played against Evo Firecracker or with it yet, you can definitely tell that Evo Firecracker is nasty. Does real damage real fast. And when layered behind a push, You try to defend wall breakers, drill, putting something on it, Evo Firecracker gets there. It can be a real problem. No connection as Ryley's Skelly Dragons are up to the task. We should see a little ability here. And it does get the angle off from the Magic Archer, so well played by Mohamed Light, both in the left and right-hand lane, currently in the lead, and goes to the back here with the drill to pull the bats on tower, and that's going to be a nice connection to the miner on the right-hand side, the Mighty Miner, but the bats connection using the drill much more in a miner method and going for the bats damage rather than the drill damage there. Well played by the Pharaoh. King Tower activation fails on Mohamed Light's side. And that's going to leave a nice little elixir advantage, and Ryley's going to double down here. I'm not sure if the double down is going to get him much. Gets one shot in from the Magic Archer, but again, well controlled with the Mighty Miner ability here on defense. Evo Barbs in this one for Ryley. So interesting. Drill Barbs is the call for the Logbait God, and that's going to be a pretty dangerous drill out of Ryley, and we are seeing the Evo Firecracker from Mohamed Light. Taken care of nicely. Good timing between the Barb Barrel and the Magic Archer. Very, very nicely done by Ryley. As Mohamed Light retakes the lead 1087 to 1391. Will Evo Barbs be a factor in here? That's the big question I have. They're an interesting choice out of Ryley. And the players were not required to use Evos in every deck. Ryley might have not gotten the message. I don't know if this was an intentional or a, hey, I'm trying to figure stuff out, but also that's the point of this tournament, right? Is let's test out how Evos might work in duels. He's going to probably eat that, I think. Yeah, Ryley just chooses to eat those wall breakers and try to go for the damage and get as close to a tie as possible on the right-hand side. And he is very close. 1 minute and 17 seconds left. The difference here, 120 HP, but now that Mo has the damage on the right-hand side, he's going to go ahead and double down and take advantage of that. Good distraction there of the Firecracker in the middle by Ryley. But now, both towers for Ryley in a lot of trouble. Evo Barbarians split lanes, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Has to stop these wall breakers. I'm not sure that Ryley can stop them both. Oh, they just barely do because of the King Tower. Now we go Magic Archer in the middle to support this push. Getting some work done on both sides here. Right-hand side distracting the Firecracker. Goblins go to the back for the drill in the right-hand lane. That's where the lead is biggest for Mohamed Light right now. Ryley not finding purchase on this tower. Needs to get some drills actually to do some damage here. Magic Archer with the... Oh, the Magic Archer does not stay alive. Golden Knight trying to push as well on the right-hand side. King Tower already activated, so that placement doesn't really do much of anything other than keep the damage off the tower on the right-hand lane for Ryley. 24 seconds left, 1041 to 982. Keep in mind that 1029 on the left-hand side, and some spears do hit on tower. Wall breakers kill, and look at that, 1016 to 820. 12 seconds left. Ryley needs to get some more here. Is there a NATO Magic Archer play? There's an Evo Firecracker. That's probably going to be the keystone, the cap on the victory here from Mohamed Light. Locks it down. Evo Firecracker. GG, well played. We saw some great defense against that Evo Firecracker from Ryley, but then in the end, it comes through and gets the big win for Mohamed Light. Here we go, our second of 2 semifinals in our 4-person mini bracket. Friends, teammates, bros, Lucas and Vitor. So the Evo situation, I think, really changes some things when you start thinking about the big spell relationships to some of these evolutions. And that Magic Archer not going to get the lineup here. Lucas just a little bit off center with that one. And Vitor Lava's up. Is he going Lava Evo Barbs? Like we saw from Mohamed Light in Game 1 of his matchup. And yes, he is. So they're the Barbs. And it's Evo Barbs on both sides here. So we'll see when they get them back out with the evolutions. But nice cleanup. Some important damage there for Vitor. The arrows making a big opening. So we have Skelly Dragons on both sides. We have arrows on the side of Vitor. Not sure what the spell situation for Lucas is going to be. Could be NATO to go with the Golden Knight and the Magic Archer. That would be logical. You know, you don't really think of Barbarians as being part of a drill deck, but now we've seen it more than once. A little heavier, and Lucas just goes all in at the bridge. Interesting choice there. And that's going to come out slightly in favor, but look, they pretty much kill each other. That's a negligible Barbarian going the opposite direction. So very interesting, just kind of dump at the bridge by Lucas. Going to get some good damage to open up this right-hand lane. But now Vitor. The bar barrel to protect, and the Magic Archer NATO, double Magic Archers now. Needs to get this Miner out of the way so the Magic Archer can get back to this big aerial push. I don't know how he stops this. We get the Skelly Dragons in, and just barely able to get the Inferno Dragon out of the way, and nothing tanks for it. Good damage from Vitor, but Lucas shutting things down nicely. So far, the Miner to Magic Archer interactions have not gone the way I think Lucas wants. NATO's out of cycle. That's good damage here from the flying machine. Magic Archer still up. Skeleton Dragon's playing a pretty important role in this matchup. And yet, the damage is pretty nasty. Lucas opening up the lead here. Evo Barbs in. And will the Magic Archers get enough damage? And they will do it. GG, well played. Lucas making use of the Magic Archers. Evo Barbs out on both sides. NATO out for NATO Bar Barrel out for Lucas. Arrows gone for Vitor. So does Vitor run something with Fireball here? Anticipating the... Oh, and there we go. Mortar just immediately countered at the bridge by the Inferno Tower. And I think we might start seeing some more Inferno Tower because of that Royal Giant. Interesting to note. So, Evo Skeletons from Lucas, regular Skeletons from Vitor. So my suspicion here is that Vitor is running Hog EQ with the Firecracker. And as I was thinking about, I was about to say, I think people are going to start running this deck with Skeleton's Inferno Tower more than with the Goblin's Goblin's Bomb Tower. With the so you get just that little extra tank killage, because people are starting to run ways to distract the Mighty Miner when they want to run tanks. Fisherman, E-Wiz, Electro Spirit, etc., etc., etc. We'll see if this becomes the more dominant or more popular of the variations soon. Good log timing to keep the mortar off tower. Approaching halfway through our opening 3 minutes. Lucas with a lead, not a major one. Snowball will be interesting as time goes on. When Mighty Miner's not available and Lucas throws Miner Snowball to counter the Bats or Ice Spirit pickup. Or the Skeletons, I mean, or Ice Spirit pickup. We'll see how that goes. Hog in, Mortar is back in cycle, and Mighty Miner not to the Mortar. This is really good. Is there King Tower activation here? And Vitor just barely gets the timing off. That was, yeah, I think he released that one maybe just a half step early. And you can see that the Mortar did not quite go right down the line. But good idea from Vitor. That could have been a very impactful King Tower activation. We'll see if he can bait Lucas into doing that again. And here we go. Evos versus Evos. And the Firecracker just shuts down those Skeletons. the extra damage the Firecracker gets with the, I don't know what they're calling those, the sparkles, is really significant. It's no joke. And poison for Lucas, so we'll see if he starts punishing Firecrackers when they're given opportune moments. With the, he probably wants to save that as much as he can for the evoed version. Of course, he can get around on his cycles, so no problem there. You know, you got to think about it. The things you've always thought about with when you're doing duel mode, right? You're thinking about win conditions, spells, and champions. But now you're thinking about evos too, and how it interacts with those other three. Support cards certainly are important, but especially in pre-made duels, though. Those are the three things: win conditions, spells, and champions. And maybe spells is the first thing. Snowball to slow, and Miner does get some important chip on tower, lead back to Lucas. The EQ, though, of course, doing its thing. Poison getting cycled on the tower and on the Mighty Miner. Ice Spirit to freeze here. Lead right now for Vitor. Hog in. Mortar to the middle. Are there skeletons available? And no, but good distraction there from the Ice Spirit. Snowball slows the Hog. 888 to 1119. Hog back in one more time, and here are the Evo skeletons, and they just shred that. But it is the Firecracker ability, putting a little damage on that tower. Miner to go into the back this time. Ice Spirit to hold. Snowball tries to predict skeletons low. Vitor doesn't go there. Log to knock back. 610 now to 578. Going to continue going down. Snowball now onto those skeletons. This is a problem for Vitor. The damage coming in really fast, and I'm not sure if there's anything that he can do about it. Hog EQ in. Mortar going to try to do something. And the Miner going to get its shot here, and it will. GG. Well played. Lucas with the 2-0. And a very, very nice performance. Next video will be our Super Grand Final between Mo and Lucas, but for now, your third place match, Ryley and Vitor. All right, here we go, your third place match. Getting plenty of reps for all these players, testing out Evos and duel modes. And clean little King Tower activation to kick things off for Vitor. Just making sure to clean up those skeletons. So it's Evo RG. But look at, you have the Fisherman and the Electro Spirit to help shut down the Mighty Miner as necessary. Not to mention the Monk here. This is nice stuff for Vitor. So it'll take one more round to get the RG into its evolution form. So it's not Evo RG yet. It's just RG that will be evolved. And then Firecracker, the evolution choice for Ryley here. Ryley going with the Bomb Tower Skeletons rather than Bomb Tower Goblins. Very curious to see how Ryley plans to stop these RGs. He has the Mighty Miner, of course, but then he has to contend with so many ways to disrupt the Mighty Miner's damage on target. And then, of course, the Skeletons, not going to be that effective against the RG. At least not in its evolution form. So both players set into a soft little rhythm here. Ryley has good damage on the right-hand side. And that's what he needs to get ahead early. And Ryley's just going after the damage. Ryley really full sending there. And now he's going to be a little low on Elixir. Healthy Royal Giant. Monk right in front. Electro Spirit to get the reset on the Mighty Miner. Fishboy will pull it. And this Royal Giant has so much HP with a second one behind it. the Evo RG essentially tanking for the classic one. And notice that knockback as it shoots, taking the skeletons off the board. RG after RG. Ryley cycling like crazy. Shot's going to be in, I think, 2 or 3 here. And there you go. There's that third. 1409 and 976. And Vitor sets up that Phoenix, predicting that there was going to be a hog to the right-hand side. It does not come. And now here comes the lane switch. And that's really good news for Ryley, that the Evo Firecracker did not go to the Monk. Is it going to matter, though, with how much damage that RG is doing? The HP is insane. RG going absolutely wild. This is going to give a huge advantage, as now Vitor can change lanes. And now Hog plus Fireball, or plus Log on the right-hand side. Evo Firecracker 2. RG on tower. Hog trying to get it. Tick, 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 boom. Can Ryley get it done? And Ryley does get game number 1 finished. Great job of attacking aggressively and not just trying to sit back and play defense here. Very nicely done for Ryley. Gets the win. And now doesn't have to worry about Evo RG anymore. So that really changes as he looks at what decks he picks going forward. I'm sure he has tank counters in all of them, but bit of a sigh of relief here. And it should be Royal Giant now for Ryley. And we're seeing Vitor going right to the drill deck again. And Ryley very aggressive with the Royal Giant play early in this game, maybe recognizing that there's not going to be a building or anything really good DPS-wise. Right, Cannon Cart out of cycle, Drill out of cycle. And Vitor forced to go to 0 to save his tower. Going to end up down by 2 Elixir. Very nicely played by Ryley here. You know, he didn't even play in the first month of CRL this year. And since really starting to put some effort into it, Ryley's made the group stage in back-to-back months. Has looked good in them. Has had some stumbles here and there, but, you know, as someone who is finally starting to really get into the competitive scene versus just being a phenomenal bait player, ladder player, content creator, definitely you can see where the work is paying off. So Ryley does have the Evo RG ready to go now. We'll see how he opts to push it here. Vitor with no true tank killer in this deck. So let's see, how does he handle this Royal Giant push? He has the Zappies, that's nice. And it's a Rage for Ryley. Evo RG plus Rage is absolutely kind of crazy, and it gets good damage, but is shut down. And now there's a real opportunity here for Vitor to hit back, and he does. Cheeky NATO play gets him good damage on the right-hand side, and now he's in the mix. 809 to 625, down by less than 200. That's some serious business. Ryley, though, back to a regular Royal Giant. Is the drill going to be there in time? He takes one key shot, but keep in mind here that there's no big spell for Ryley. Very interesting take on the RG here. Oh, good damage in on the right-hand side as Vitor's forced to contend with the left-hand lane. Pig gets on, and now an Evo Royal Giant. I don't think there's any way here that Vitor stops this. The drill in, and the RG hits. Kaboom! Ryley, in a big way on the back of that Royal Giant, takes this 1 and 2.